My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California.
Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. Unity is stalking in helicopter while I'm documenting the third party in apartment number 55 who's going to federal prison for group stalking with the Ontario Police Department. A vibration of the apartment building is called sensational activity. They're doing so where the fake sun is in alignment, so you already know, and I've already captured the proof of the Ontario Police Department group stalking. The entity is repeatedly doing so while, again, the license plate, the red SUV right here, she's group stalking inside of apartment number 55, license 5WU Victor 715, and I've also seen 5WUB as in boy 715. She's going to federal prison, and I'm documenting heavy ongoing terrorism as she represents the entity who is group stalking on behalf of that entity. That is, while fake, that's not sunlight. That would be, remember, this is where the sunrise was captured in images, where the city of Ontario is in creating the method of amplified audible activity in the same way that the Ontario Police Department created the method of amplification and sensational activity as I'm on my phone in real time, where that's not sunlight, where the sun is setting in Alvarado Gardens through my bedroom window. That's not sunlight. It's also not sunlight where the fake sun is also rising at this position and setting here. Those are demons, the terrorist organization who is going to be disbanded. And it is, again, what is 6:24 p.m. The entity will produce the names of the demons who routinely stalk in helicopters with the Ontario PD, and they're going to federal prison, and there's an army of them. License 9ACS 305 represents AVANATH Communities, who's engaging in terrorism with the demons who use helicopters, while this demon in apartment 55, who's going to federal prison, she just represents the state's immediate basis for ongoing amplification. And while she's engaging in threatening my life because I'm documenting her, she's going to federal prison. This is relevant to the enhancement to federal charges, sentencing, and damages that AVANATH Communities will compensate me for. Okay, walking in the apartment doesn't cause the ceiling to crack. The demon is stalking me while I go from the living room to the kitchen. And as I document on my phone, and also the evidence of federal stalking in the environment where the fake sun is setting, which is where you saw in the images at 7:30, the fake sun is rising. The entity is engaging in what is stalking in a helicopter, and then those cowards try to fly off while they know what I'm doing, tracking your steps, which you know through the specific environment. There's never any sunlight that's going to be piercing underneath the patio blinds, creating your shadow on the upright on these buildings out here, remaining for 11 plus hours. These are demons who are engaged in group stalking, and this demon in particular acting on behalf of the whole state in apartment 55, who was group stalking, remaining 24/7, following me from room to room while she is remaining above. This is a demon-possessed psychopath and a sex offender, and she's going to be labeled as such, and a domestic terrorist who's going to federal prison. okay, engaged in ongoing terrorism with the demons that fly over, providing evidence against her and the rest of the demons, 144 units engaged in domestic terrorism in an environment that is distinct from, under no circumstances, creating any sunlight or any position of a sun, where I've showed you the specific environment, for example, in Los Angeles, where the sun was rising and setting, which is never the natural environment at one address, nor at any position is the sun also going to be remaining over Alvarado Gardens, setting in alignment to my bedroom window, and then creating sunlight on this building here for the duration of the day, where the entity engages in the hallmark of stalking and terrorizing and engaging in psychological torture using helicopters, because demon psychopaths like this are threatening your life because you're documenting them. Okay, so the way that evidence is going to flip, not only is AVANATH Communities a group stalker through their employees, through their residents, through the government that's stalking over the sky space of the real property that is owned by AVANATH. AVANATH is profiting, and that's the basis of their civil and criminal prosecution as a group stalker in the specific environment in Irvine, California. Secondly, the people of the state are routinely threatening your life while you document them, and they're engaged in Title 18 federal stalking. This is a routine pattern of conduct, and the Ontario Police Department has no legitimacy. This is what Mike LORENZ is going to face a federal prosecution for, and they will be producing also the names of the demons who, as I document the entity stalking by helicopters, because they're going to federal prison right along with this demon. Again, her license plate 5WV715, and I've also seen 5WB as in boy 715. It is currently, again, 6:27 p.m. This is documentation of what I'm capturing on an ongoing basis on the document entitled WSA-The People. I want to be clear, they're all engaged in terrorism with the Ontario Police. This is a property where the specific environment remains. A fake sun is rising and setting. It's a population of demons living at a senior citizen community complex, where the entity is outside of zoning provisions, flying over this senior citizen apartment complex, vibrating the buildings 24 hours a day in helicopters and in commercial airline planes, because they are not only group stalking, which is criminal surveillance by the state using the population, the people of the state, including those that are over 55. That's what you're learning about here. But you're also understanding they're engaged in federal stalking, and the entity engages in a pattern of arriving in helicopters while you document their criminal conduct. And the demon that's in 55, the one specifically being documented, acting on behalf of the entity, is going to federal prison. And it's evidence against all of the entity. This entire senior citizen complex, the people of the state, are together engaging in that ongoing criminal act of obstruction of justice. But number 55, she's going to federal prison. She's acting on behalf of the entity. She's being documented, and she's threatening my life, and she's going to federal prison for that. And that's exactly how the federal judge is going to treat that evidence, which is in conformity to the P.O.C. It is currently, again, 6:28 p.m. Again, that's criminal conduct that's attributed to Mike LORENZ. That's not a demon that's ignorant. It is indeed a demon, and he is not ignorant about what the police department is engaging in as a matter of a pattern of conduct. Neither are the people of the state ignorant about what they are engaging in concert with the state that is routinely engaging in stalking with helicopters in a very specific environment where you are living at a crime scene that has the maintenance of engineer light present at the beginning of the day until the end of the day, just vacillating in levels of concentration. That's not sunlight. The entity is maintaining a maintenance of engineered light. This is the evidence of the demon that's stalking in the path, the method of amplification as I go from room to room, where this demon above me is representing the state of California, and she's going to federal prison. Okay, she's going for a very long time. At her advanced age, she's not getting out. Okay, it is currently, again, 6:29 p.m. and that's the same result for the demons terrorizing in helicopters as I'm documenting their criminal conduct, which I will continue to publish on the internet, because this is exposing the demonic pattern of conduct so that you can understand what demon possession looks like and behaves like, the criminal system that the demon possessed are engaging in this country, and the ways in which the demonic pattern of conduct, which is criminal, is going to be prosecuted and disincentivized, because the demon possessed that are currently a part of law enforcement agencies, what they'll be removed from, they're going to sit in federal prison for years. This is P.O.C. This is documentation of psychological torture and terrorism, while cowards who are wearing diapers, just like LAPD, wearing diapers, never taking a break and stalking me. Those are sex offenders obsessed with my genitalia, obsessed with when I'm sleeping, when I'm awake, everything that I'm physically doing, including what I'm doing on a communication device, while they are engaged in getting the people of the state in more trouble, and they're getting themselves in trouble. The Ontario Police is not a police department, and they will be disbanded and treated like the animals that they are. Cowards, by the way, fleeing from the scene, but there's already a body of evidence, and I mean a body, of specifically the Ontario Police engaging in terrorism and psychological torture. Okay, this is currently, again, 6:30 p.m. That's P.O.C. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes, and also to reveal the
wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state. And it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. There's helicopter activity right now while crossing path. And so is 55 directly above. And that's malice. And this is impossible light activity that's inside of the apartment. And that's the entity that lives in the apartment, keeping you under surveillance, terrorizing you, psychologically torturing you, keeping their back to you like I'm just looking for something in the kitchen. They're crossing path while the entity is terrorizing, group stalking by a police department that has no intentions of remaining whatsoever. Heavy helicopter activity at the specific environment, and there's years of evidence of the Ontario police doing nothing other than engaging in what is terrorism in helicopters and exhibiting full throttle demon possession. That is Tracy Banks, and she's going to federal prison. And so is the demon that's pacing on an ongoing basis as I continuously document, literally minute by minute, hour by hour, day after day, where the entity is keeping impossible light activity to the level of that which you saw through the yesterday morning while the fake sun was over me and it was concentrated on the kitchen wall. Impossible light activity remains inside of this apartment right now. And that is criminal conduct where you pay your rent and you will be prosecuted and you're going to federal prison while the entity uses amplified helicopter activity, group stalking me like she's documented doing for years as well, by the way. That's also why she's going to federal prison. This is impunity, and this is severe mental illness, which is also a threat to my life while she's group stalking with the state, continuously engaging in the ongoing conspiracy to murder and kidnap me, doing so maliciously with the people of the state, the demon whose name I don't even know, acting with the demon whose name I do know, acting with the demons who are heavily documented and exposed as psychopath stalking in helicopters. It is currently, again, 11 p.m. where the entity is flying over a senior citizen complex, vibrating the apartment building, in the environment where the fake sun is rising and setting, remaining at the address that is for over 11 hours, and doing so in concert with the population right in your face. Right in your face. That is going to be the basis of a federal prosecution of the whole population. This is what Alvarado Gardens was doing by a demon-possessed population living at Alvarado Gardens, day and night, stalking with the LAPD. That's exactly what's happening at Woodside Senior Apartments. This is P.O.C. That's currently 11:01 p.m. The demon upstairs, acting with impunity while Ontario police is stalking me in helicopters. So is she. Her license plate is 5WU Victor 715. I've also seen 5WB as in boy 715. She's going to federal prison. Her impunity is imputed to the entire entity that's group stalking and engaging in federal stalking with her. And they're doing so while I'm on the internet, preparing on my communication device, which the entity is monitoring. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to continue to do, is upload my videos onto the venue of the internet for the prosecution of the demons who are stalking under a fake sun all day long, in an environment where impossible light activity remains day and night, where they are the demons who are stalking in helicopter. Again, Mike LORENZ is out of a job. Okay, he will never have anything to do with law enforcement, and he is a closeted psychopath and sex offender, not different from the one whose name I know, from the one who's group stalking right above, from the demons who are flying in helicopters over a senior citizen complex, and they're going to federal prison. Their name will be produced. It's again 11:02 p.m. where the Ontario police has a helicopter that is stalking in the sky space over Woodside Senior Apartments in conformity to a statewide pattern of conduct engaging in terrorism, not law enforcement. This is P.O.C.